Hello, 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 it's Brotos TV. My name is Brotos. Don't know if you knew that. In the red corner we've got ROOTMinigun. And in the green corner it's EGIdrA. You might have heard of him, he's a pretty famous dude. He's recently back in the USA. Speaking of recently, I got myself a new hard disk drive, which is hopefully going to really sort out any frame rate problems I had. I was previously recording and playing StarCraft on the same hard drive, one hard drive. Now I'm recording my videos to a different hard drive than the game's running from, which should hopefully fix a lot of problems. Now, this is a map I've never ever seen before. It's an iCCup map, and it looks, you know, highly symmetric, and I'm a guy who loves symmetry, so I'm gonna love this. Oh, nice lily pad. Now, Protoss player Minigun is going to scout pretty quick. We've got these, oh man, double gold in the middle. That's seriously bold. This map is brutal. If someone takes control of that center, then there is no escape from the fact that he has got double gold. Wowee. But we aren't spawning in what I suppose we should call close positions. Interesting there. It's a really interesting piece of geometry there. He's right next to these sort of shared minerals, but so there's a pretty basic, obvious natural here with two gases, in fact, and it's a pretty nice choke too. And then there's a pretty obvious third as well. It's quite far from the second, but there's a nice ramp. It's pretty easily defensible, so it looks like we could see some long games on this map. EGIdrA, in fact, is going to try and get a hatchery as quick as he can. He has got his spawning pool on the way already, so not that fast for a hatchery, but pretty quick. Both these guys know where their opponent is that true? No, EGIdrA actually has no clue just yet where his opponent is situated. Oh, nice block. Wowee. That is a sick probe. He's just doing so much just mischief. It's just quitting. Where you going? I'm gonna go scout. Good job, probe. Cybernetics course. So he's gonna wall up at the ramp, one base. Not gonna try and go out to this choke or even to this choke. Well, this choke's not that good. Hatchery finally does get down, but the core is nearly here, and the Zealot is also nearly here. The Zealot's not gonna do a good job against a probe, drone rather though. He's going to wall off, so Zerglings won't get in. Drones, of course, can ghost in, which I think is kind of a bit bullshit, if you ask me. Like, apparently, I mean, in StarCraft 1, so I'm told, the rule was if you had vision of the minerals, you could ghost in by clicking on them. Now you can just, workers can just go wherever. Seems a bit rubbish. Seems a bit rubbish. But anyway, that's my rant out of the way. A couple of Zerglings just chilling out for EGIdrA. Minigun, member of the Root gaming team. I've seen only a couple of his games, so I can't really comment on his playstyle or his quality. But all the Root guys are pretty good. Katz in particular is a guy that I know, and Kiwikaki, I mean, is well known for being one of the best Protosses this side of Korea. And when I say this side, I mean totally on the other side, because I live in Australia, which is super duper close to Korea. And super duper far from America. That's not super close to Korea. Korea is certainly closer than the United States. Yet you can see this pylon warping in. He's just content to macro up at this stage. Nothing too exciting. Got more harvesters from the Protoss. And in fact he's going to exercise, which I suppose this pylon was kind of a dead giveaway. Just 2 sentries in a Zealot, and he's going to Nexus up with that as his sole defense. That's pretty ballsy, bro. 4 more lings on the way. And some drones too. Minigun actually not... Oh, now he is. I was going to say he's not making probes. Overlord's going to jump in, see what he can see. What can you see? There isn't much to see. There's a forge on the way, and another gateway, so that's 4 gateways total. Is that right? Yeah, 4 once this is done. Lots of sentries, 5 sentries, 1 Zealot. Seriously going nuts with those sentries. Finally getting a Stalker to deal some actual damage to this Overlord. Send his 5 sentries over to tickle it to death, but He shan't, I suppose, but these sentries building up energy, doing their thing. I'm trying to get used to pressing Alt as much as I can. There you go. Sentry's just poking out saying, hey, get the hell away from my Nexus. Man, I need that. But, economy-wise, Protoss has got his second base up. But it's up to these Lings to do what they can do. They're going to charge in, there's a lot of force fields available. And in fact, he is just going to bail for a moment. Ooh, this is really tough. The lair is on the way for IdrA, but he could use a third base, I think. His opponent's got 2 up, his opponent's getting hallucination. Probably just for the phoenixes. I'm going to say phoenixes. Those phoenixes can scout really, really easily. Super duper great. Cannon, just central cannon. Here goes the phoenix, so what's he going to see? He already knows about the hatchery. There's not much to see. I suppose the lair morphing is going to be useful to see. And he'll probably spot that there is no roach warren, unless I'm wrong about that. But what he's not going to see... Oh, he's going to see the baneling nest, and he is going to see, in fact, the hatchery. Dun dun dun. So, Minigun sees that. IdrA, on the other hand, has got these Lings just waiting. And he's got nice overlords to check for that third base from the from Minigun. Now this sentry, this is a pretty formidable army that's coming out. 3 quad supply, and he's actually trapped a bunch of things. That's a super, super great force build. Wow, 5 in a perfect spot. There's barely any overlap. It's really great. Traps a bunch of Lings, and now he is ahead in supply, no doubt about it. But that's 5 force fields. He killed like 6 Zerglings, so I'd say it's worth it. It's quite risky using those force fields, so it's so valuable when the battle comes. If you use a bunch of force fields and you only get a few Lings, then it might not be worth it. These Lings can chomp away. Chomp, chomp, chomp away at those stalkers, but they're not going to get anything done. More overlords, just an absolute line of overlords. If Minigun goes and attacks those, he could really hurt IdrA, who's, you know, he's cutting it fine with the overlords. And if he lost 3 overlords very suddenly, that would really hurt his macro. But the banelings are here, and the banelings are going to do really well against these sentries. The sentries are light, so he doesn't force field perfectly. Well, he did force field perfectly. The banelings are going to bugger all. Die a horrible death. That's so many force fields. Look at that. A ring of force fields. And now the supply is 90 to 70. Those force fields did such a great job trapping those banelings far away. And then while they dance around trying to get away from the force fields, he just shoots them down. And there was one explosion there where a bunch of banelings and nothing, no damage at all. What a waste. Thermal Lance is on the way, so I missed that. He's getting Robo, got the Robo Bay, and in fact, it's Colossus or Clock, and he's chrono boosting out Colossus. And he's going to find these overlords, so they've got overlord speed though, so overlords with speed are going to do considerably better against this. He's getting +1 armor, the Protoss player, but IdrA grabbing a Spire, which is going to do really well. He needs Corruptors to deal with those Colossi. Mutalisks are going to do well right now because he's very sentry heavy, and I don't know if you knew, but a force field doesn't really affect a Mutalisk very much. Double gas as well, so it's going to be going up to 6 gases, which is plenty. Plenty of gas to fund those mutas. Minigun's got a nice observer in a real good spot, but IdrA can see it because of this overseer, so he can surely take it down. No, he can't. All he's got to attack here is queens, and they are far, far away. Now, I'll have to set myself to busy, because I'm worried that he's going to say hi. Righto, Bido, 2 Colossi now. Nice overlord spewing, just farting on those spots. And he's getting a nice creep spread, IdrA. But Minigun gonna take down this overseer. And in fact, he's gonna start taking out creep tumors. This observer's really helping him now. And this push is pretty deadly. He's got a 10 supply lead. Let's check the harvester count. It's 72 to 68, so he's got a 10 supply lead with 4 more harvesters. So it's a narrow lead supply-wise, but more gateways coming. More money coming. He's got plenty of money. It's 132 supply to 130. Pretty even game right now because IdrA got that third base up. The Protoss hasn't done much by way of aggression. And this is a lot of Zerglings and Banelings, but if you can get the right force fields, you can deal with those Colossi and those massive thermal lances, which have been extended. Blink is on the way, as well as weapons +2. Meanwhile, air attack +1, Carapace level 2. On the way for IdrA and a 4th base, which is pretty key. He knows his opponent is stuck on 3. He's going to go for number 4, maybe even number 5 in the near future. He knows his opponent can't go